Let's put this to use after doing perfect squares. We're still going to need to use them to simplify this. We're going to do a couple examples. The first example here is going to be radical 32. If you were to plug in radical 32 or the square root of 32 on your calculator, you would come out with a decimal, but we're going to simplify it. Perfect squares, keep them fresh in your mind as we go through our steps. So step 1 says to find the largest perfect square that the radicand is divisible by. The radicand is our number inside of our radical symbol. We're going to break down the radical using this number. I use a little factoring tree. Hopefully it's fresh in your mind from when you guys were using factors to get a product. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see which perfect square I can multiply to another number to give me 32. Some of you probably are thinking, okay, yeah, Miss Holscher, I can do radical 8 and radical 4. That gives me 32. One of them has to be a perfect square, and radical 8 and radical 4. Radical 4 is a perfect square, but we can still simplify radical 8. It's just doing more work. If you find the largest perfect square, it does less work for you. For 32, I can do radical 16 multiplied by radical 2. 16 times 2 does give me 32. So here, radical 16 and radical 2. Radical 16 is a perfect square. What times what gives me 16? 4 times 4 gives me 16, so I can simplify radical 16 to 4. Can I simplify radical 2? No, it'll drop down. So I will end up with a final answer of 4 radical 2. Let's look at another example. Our next example here is radical 180. Okay, if we were to plug in the square root of 180, it would not come out perfect. We're going to simplify it to the best of our ability. Again, we want to find the largest perfect square that is going to be multiplied to another radical to give us 180. I'm going to use my factoring tree here. My largest perfect square for 180 will be radical 36 times radical 5. 36 times 5 does give me 180. Radical 36, this is going to be a perfect square. If I took the square root of 36, it will give me a simplified term of 6. Can I simplify radical 5? Radical 5 cannot be simplified, so it gets brought down. And my final answer here for radical 180 is 6 radical 5.